Welcome back to the News at 10. Now, we have some pictures that were sent into our portal and let's share them with you. We can begin with this one from Kaduna State, where an electric pole has been pulled down by vandals. The lights have also been stolen. Our Eyewitness reporter is calling on the authorities to be vigilant. Our second image is from Bayelsa State, showing a man riding a motorcycle using a car as leverage. Our Eyewitness reporter describes this as dangerous and irresponsible as well. Our final pictures are images of the downpour in Lagos earlier today. There you can see them in Surulere, Apapa and Ocholi. They were the heavy casualties of the flood today. And our Eyewitness reporter wants the state government to urgently create better drainage systems. As you can see, people wading through very heavy water. Thanks a lot for those pictures, and do keep them coming when you can give them to us. Now, a professor of political science at the University of Abuja, Professor Kabir Mato, has called on the federal government to tackle inflation and fix the economy to ease the suffering of its citizens. He made the call in Abuja at the one-year memorial lecture of the former Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Mr. James Ocholi. According to him, the idea of having a robust economy is one vision of the ruling government that endeared the All Progressives Congress to the late minister.
It is exactly 1 year that the former Minister of State for Labour and Employment, Mr. James Ocholi, his wife and son were killed in a motor accident.
I would like to...
Ministers and other top government officials are gathered in Abuja to celebrate his achievements for the few months he served as a minister. The chairman of the occasion and Minister of Science and Technology explains the importance of the gathering.
Great Nigerians who dedicated themselves to the service of their country in a selfless manner. When they depart this world, that we must remember them. I think this is important in view of the situation that our country finds herself.
The guest lecturer, Professor Kabir Mato, who is represented by Mr. Abubakar Umaru, appeals to the federal government to fix the economy, as it was one of the desires of the late minister.
The need for the government to serve its priorities right is essential in view of the quantum of preferences that the economy has suffered over time. Inflation has to be addressed urgently and promptly.
On the sideline of the event, both the Minister of Labour Employment and the President of the Nigeria Labour Congress spoke on the vacuum created by the death of Mr. Ocholi.
We are not overwhelmed. That is not to say we don't feel his exit. I think we are tackling the issues as they come up, and you can see that we have a kind of stability.
It is obvious that he has left a vacuum that certainly, if filled, can add value to the issue of governance.
Mr. James Ocholi served for about 6 months as a minister in the President Buhari-led administration before the auto crash that claimed his life along Abuja-Kaduna Road last year.
Let's cross over to some business news now. Here's Anne Waudu.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Ijoma. Welcome to Business News. The Central Bank of Nigeria has disbursed additional sum of $376.13 million today to meet the request of customers in the interbank forex market. The CBN spokesman, Mr. Isaac Okafor, says the move is in line with the bank's determination to ease the foreign exchange pressure on various sectors through forward sales under the new flexible forex regime. A breakdown of the forwards shows that the sum of $144 million is for 45 days, while $223.06 million is for 60 days. The latest disbursement is the fourth intervention by the CBN in less than 2 weeks. Meanwhile, the directive by the Central Bank of Nigeria to authorize dealers on the sale of travel allowances to customers appears to be gaining traction. A visit to the Murtala Muhammad International Airport shows that global foreign exchange dealer Travelex is complying with this new rule from the CBN. Travelex, shared their experiences, travelers who shared their experiences with us seem to be very happy with this new development.
Actually, I got only about $600. I wanted to get more than that, but because my ATM card is not, I think it's either malfunctioning or the network couldn't allow it. But the cash I had, the Naira cash I had, I was able to get as much as it can get me. I believe that if we continue with this, we will actually be able to, the Naira will pick up in no time from now, and it will generally affect the economy and also the image of the nation.
Actually, as I was approaching, the sign is up somewhere at my back, and it was 375. First reaction was, can't they get that thing right? Because I didn't know it had come that low. So on further inquiries, they said, no, it's correct. That's what's being offered from this point. So I joined the queue, and I've just tidied up the transaction at 375. We hope this has come to stay, really. It's desperately needed at this time. Quite some relief, I would say. So let's see. We pray it lasts. It's a good thing.
The Director General of the Debt Management Office, Dr. Abraham Nwankwo, has identified poor corporate and individual tax payment as well as low tax revenue collections as key factors affecting Nigeria's annual debt servicing profile. According to the 2017 budget, debt servicing is estimated at 1.66 trillion naira. Dr. Nwankwo said this in Business Morning today while he was speaking on the federal government of Nigeria's savings bond.
Nigeria debt is within limits. However, we continue also to repeat that debt service revenue ratio for Nigeria has been a challenge for some years and has even become a greater challenge with the collapse of oil prices. Luckily for Nigeria, there's a solution for that problem, and the immediate solution to that problem lies in the relationship between tax revenue and total government revenue. Currently, Nigeria's tax GDP ratio is among the lowest in the world. I'm not talking of the rate of taxation. I'm saying that there's an indication that many people, many organizations, many companies that are supposed to pay tax in Nigeria are either not paying at all or not paying adequately. Which means if those who are supposed to pay tax at existing tax rates, not at a higher rate, if they pay their taxes in time, adequately and comprehensively, then the total revenue available to government will be much bigger. In fact, it will increase by at least 35%. And if that happens, the debt service revenue ratio will also be healthy.
Access Bank Group is reporting an all-round impressive full-year financial statement for 2016 as the company's gross earnings rose to 381.32 billion naira against a total of 337.49 billion recorded in 2015. At the same time, the bank's profit after tax went up to 71.43 million from 65.86 billion naira. But the group's earnings per share lowered to 2 naira 50 kobo from 2 naira to 65 kobo within the same period. Sell-offs, especially from the industrial goods stocks, drove the local equities market to its biggest drop since December 2nd, 2016, as investors continue to liquidate their positions in some of the key stocks. Here's Harriet Agbeni with the details.
Heavy losses recorded by market heavyweight Dangote Cement contributed to the drop by key market indicators at the Nigerian equities market today. The industrial giant shared more than 7% to end the session at 149 naira 26 kobo, trailed by Honeywell and CAP PLC, which shared 5% apiece. On the other hand, Nestle, Forte Oil and ICO Group were the session's three top gainers, leading 12 other percentage appreciators. The financial services sector was the most actively traded, in particular Zenith, UBA and Transcorp in the hospitality and leisure subsector. Total market volume came in at 128.16 million units, exchanged in 2,978 deals, valued at 1.47 billion naira. Market capitalization dropped from 8.65 to 8.50 trillion naira, with the all-share index also down 172 basis points to 24,581.99. Those are today's trading figures. I'm Harriet Agbini.
Thank you, Harriet. U.S. stocks opened lower earlier today. With more details on Wall Street is VOA Channel's TV business correspondent Jill Malandrino from the Nasdaq market site in New York.
U.S. stocks opened broadly lower, weighed down by a busy weekend with geopolitical tensions in Asia as North Korea fired 4 ballistic missiles into the sea off Japan's northwest coast early on Monday, on weakness in European financials, also bringing us down after reports that Deutsche Bank needs to raise capital, and also because of U.S. President Donald Trump's accusation that his predecessor Barack Obama wiretapped his phone at Trump Tower. Other than the key employment report for February released this Friday, it will be a relatively quiet week for data. This jobs report is especially notable because it is the last one the Federal Reserve will see before its Federal Open Market Committee meeting on March 14th and 15th, when the central bank is all but certain to announce an interest rate increase. A rate hike now appears to be viewed by many investors as a vote of confidence in the economy, as opposed to the past where it has seen as a potential market derailment. The overseas calendar is full of potentially market-moving events, including a European Union summit, a potential House of Lords vote in London on Brexit, the European Central Bank's meeting, and China's National People's Congress, where Premier Li Keqiang will provide government targets for the Chinese economy in 2017. From the Nasdaq market site in New York, I'm Jill Malandrino, and this is VOA Channel's Business News.
Concerns over geopolitical tension in Asia, a mixture of corporate news in Europe, and chances of tighter monetary policy from the Federal Reserve next week. This all pushed global markets into mixed territories today. Let's see the numbers. That's Business News Tonight. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm Anne Nwawado. It's back to you, Joma.
You first. First Bank.
Thanks a lot, Anne. Nigerians have been advised to have a more positive attitude to oral health as part of overall health and well-being. The message was given today at a Unilever-sponsored media briefing in commemoration of the World Oral Health Day.
There's anything we can do.
World Oral Health Day is an annual event held to create awareness on the impacts of oral diseases on the general well-being of people. The celebration, which is constantly sponsored in Nigeria by Unilever, has the theme, Leave Mouth Smart.
This is part of our global oral care social missions agenda to improve the oral health of 10 million people by 2020.
The Federal Ministry of Health and the Nigerian Dental Association, partners on the initiative, say they will reach out to more people.
Most of the people affected with oral diseases are at the grassroots in the communities. In the Federal Ministry of Health, we are partnering with a National Primary Health Care Development Agency to train trainers to teach them on early diagnosis and treatment.
The World Oral Health Day 2017 aims to get everyone to recognize the impacts their oral health has on overall physical health and well-being. In order to help inspire this change, the overall campaign platform will be Leave Mouth Smart, which is the theme for this year's World Oral Health Day celebration.
But what's the point of the Unilever-sponsored annual celebration?
In a country of over about 180 million people, we only have about 4,100 dentists. You can imagine the number of people who actually have access to dentists. So we decided that instead of going the creative path, we will focus on prevention.
The orifice where other diseases enter the systemic into the system. So it's very important for us to drive that education to let people know that they need to pay closer attention to their oral health.
Dental caries and periodontal diseases are the most common oral complications in children. With good oral hygiene, such as brushing twice daily with fluoride toothpaste, these diseases can be prevented.
Still ahead on the news at 10, English Football Association charges Manchester United's Zlatan Ibrahimovic and Bournemouth's Tyrone Mings with violent conduct following clashes between both players. That's on sports. You see this.